Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've mentioned it in other videos that I am leaving for Italy and I plan to bring art supplies. I know this is going to sound a little strange, but it's kind of a bucket list trip. I want to just pretend to be an artist that lives in Venice. Again, I know it sounds strange, but it is something I've always wanted to do, was to live in Venice, and I never had the opportunity or was like too much of a scaredy cat when I was young to do it and just go by myself. I'm really excited about it. So let me just talk really quickly about a few of the books I know I'm bringing. I set up several buddy colors for the month of October. I plan on finishing all of them, and I'm going to do that by definitely bringing those books on the trip with me. I have to wait to see how heavy my luggage is going to be. So I definitely don't know the full extent of what I'm bringing, but I will bring these 5 books. So I'll go over them really quickly. The first one is Enchanted Faces by Hannah Lynn. We've picked this page, which I'm just going to call the Apple page. I am doing this buddy color with Winter Colors on Instagram. So that's the first book I'm bringing. Then I'm bringing Garden Lady by Lana Green. I also have a buddy color set up in this with Sapphire Colors, who is on Instagram and here on YouTube. We have selected a page as well, but I think I'll just go through it without showing you the pages. I'll just show the books because I do have other things that I'm going to show. So that is the second one. I'm part of Christina's Art Corner. She picks an image every month, puts it out on Instagram, and we kind of all, use the hashtag and color whatever page she selects. I joined after she had started it a few months, so I probably have a handful of pages that I can do catch up on. So I will bring this book. The next one I'm definitely bringing is Dramenvangr by Tomislav Tomic. I was watching Christina's Art Corner, and she said that she and Bubble of Coloring are doing a 2-page spread every month or so. I think this is a really complicated book. So I think for some months they're doing it over a 2-month period. So I would really love to get more done in this book. It is an extremely intimidating book to me because of the amount of detail. So I'm really happy that they accepted me into their group so that I can get more done in this book. So another book that's coming to Italy for sure. The last book I know that I'm bringing because I have a second buddy color with a new friend, Kathy Landis, on Instagram. She's a lot of fun. Go look at her account. Her page for September was really beautiful. So we've selected another page. Unfortunately, I don't remember which one it is. So I have to go look through my Instagram messages and see, but I could color this endlessly. So I can do 2 or 3 of these portraits and not really feel that I've done too many in a month. So this is a great book for me to bring. I did select several other books that I hope to color in October, but back to the weight of my luggage, I don't know if I'm going to be doing those pages before and after I, go to Italy. So right now, these 5 books are definitely coming, but, some of them weigh, so I don't know how that's going to go. In addition to some of the coloring books I'm going to be bringing, I've printed off some of these PDFs. Many of them, I'm happy to say, I bought like over a year ago and have never colored them. So it's about time I change that. This is actually a free page on Clara Markova's website. I think I want to color them. I'll just do alcohol marker and put them on the gifts for Christmas time. And it is really cute, so that's the first one. This page I absolutely adore. And I can't believe I bought this over a year ago and haven't colored it. And I think it's because I actually do prefer to work in actual coloring books. I like seeing the progression. I like seeing the different dates. And, you know, so although I like, this is, I think, the Neenah cardstock, and I actually print on the smoother side. So I do like the paper. I just, yeah, I don't know what to do with it when I'm done. Like, you know, do I go out and buy some kind of book and put them all in? You know, that might be an option. So if I start that, maybe I'll color more of the PDFs I actually purchase. So I like that one. I did print it in both the light and dark. She gives a lot of versions, you know, like there's a sepia, I think there's like a blue tone, and there's a dark and light gray. There might actually be more, I'm not sure. I don't know what happened with my printing here. So I'm gonna have to print this again. I didn't realize it before I started filming, but this is so beautiful. I mean, she's absolutely gorgeous. And I know this is more of a summerish page because it's all, I think these are jellyfish. So it's more sea inspired, but I still really like it. She's a beautiful face, and I think I'm gonna reprint it and bring it with me. Okay, so I've taken my R.J. Hampson book and printed, I think, a couple of images from that to see if that's a way for me to like the books. Again, I prefer to color in the coloring book, but I did scan 2 of them in, and I really do love the images. This one is adorable. I mean, the laboratory, it's so cool. And so is the next one. It's like a Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson thing. So I love mysteries, so I'm definitely coloring this. And hopefully I do like working on the paper and, you know, trying it with alcohol markers and other mediums maybe, because this paper could take quite a bit. So those are the 2 R.J. Hampson. Now this is the Gabby Wolf. I started trying to color the first page with alcohol marker in the book, and it really bleeds a lot. I mean, it really is awful, awful paper. I'm sorry, but it really is awful. So I printed this. I think I'm going to just use this as a first draft. Like, what colors do I use? How do I make it look? Because this is a really special image for me. I mentioned in another video that my mom was a seamstress and she's passed. So, and see if I could do a really good job with it. So that's Gabby Wolf. And this is such a pretty picture. I mean, again, not exactly a fall one, but I think I could make these. I don't know if they're daisies or something, but I could certainly make them look more like sunflowers. So I think I'm gonna do this in a fall color palette, and then maybe try to do the bird in like a blue. So blue and kind of orangey yellow. So I might do kind of contrasting colors with this one. So we'll see. I have tried coloring it in the past, this one, and it didn't work out the way I had planned. So I tore it up, which is great about not being in a book, is that if you don't love it, you just can start again. You just reprint it. So those are the PDFs. There's about, half a dozen or so that I will be bringing with me in addition to the coloring books. But while I have this folder open, some of the other things I'm going to be bringing, this is my absolutely essential Polychromos metal coloring combinations. This is from My Colorful Country Life. She offers these on her website. I think it's with Ko-fi. They're absolutely stunning, and she's amazing. She's an amazing colorist, and I have printed out and done all of her color combinations for Polychromos and Prismacolor, but this is the one that I really use a lot. So I'm definitely bringing this with me. Then I have this stencil from My Favorite Things. I got this online and it is for clouds. So I'm just gonna bring it. It's not heavy at all, of course, so why not? I don't know what I'm gonna be doing in some of my backgrounds, and this is kind of an essential tool if I want to do any kind of cloud work. The other one, and this is from Jade. Is this from Jade? Yeah, jadedragons.deviantart.com. So I got this printout from that website, and then I've colored in some of the hair colors that I've seen online. I haven't used all of them, but I thought, bringing it can't be that bad an idea. So, because I am doing several portraits, or, maybe a handful of portraits in October, so this will be really useful. So those are the other things I'm bringing in this folder in addition to the PDFs. So next up are pencils. I've decided to divide it into water-soluble and not water-soluble pencils. So I have several sets of pencils, but my absolute favorites are the Prismacolor and the Polychromos. Now, I hope people understand, but I am having an existential crisis because I have always been a Prismacolor gal. This was the first set that I bought a long time ago. Then I stopped doing artwork with colored pencils. And then in 2022, I started doing adult coloring and I went back to my pencils. I have replaced each one of these pencils multiple times. I use them constantly. They are a very soft pencil, and I haven't met too many papers that these pencils do not work well on. My existential crisis is coming in with my Polychromos pencils. I've been working more and more with these pencils, and the more I work with them, the more I'm falling in love with them. And if you had asked me this 6 months ago, I wouldn't have any question on which pencils I was bringing. Of course I'm bringing the Prismacolor. But my crisis comes in with, I think I want to bring the Polychromos. So have these become my favorite pencils now? Am I no longer a Prismacolor gal? I don't know if anyone else feels this anxiety that I feel about this. I don't know what to say, but yeah, part of me really wants to bring the polys. So yeah, guys, I think it's gonna be the polys. Sorry, Prisma, I'm sorry. I feel bad, I don't know why. But so those are the two non-soluble pencils, and I'm like 90% sure it's gonna be the Polychromos. Now that I'm doing this video, I really feel like, okay, yeah, it's the polys. I think I'm becoming a poly girl. Okay, so that is the non-soluble pencils. I have two sets of watercolor pencils. The first, and the one I use the most, are the Albert Dürer watercolor pencils. I really enjoy these pencils. I think that I could get anywhere from a really subtle color to a high intensity color with these pencils. Of course, they're not going to be as intense as the Inktense. Those are ink based, these are not. And I think you get a much more intense color with the Inktense, but I do get some really vivid, beautiful colors when you layer these pencils. So this is an option. The second set I'm considering is a mixture. The first couple of sections are actually Inktense, and they are lovely pencils. They're really vivid and intense, and would look really nice in Drum and Wenger, and I think I could do some really pretty work in the Wildflower Folk, even spooky. So 3 of the books that I'm bringing really are well suited for the Inktense that has a really bright color palette. But also in this case, pencil case, I have just mixed pencils. I have the range, I'm not sure if this is the full range, but I have a range of the Derwent Graphy Tint that I really like. And there are some beautiful subtle colors in here. And since I'm doing some autumn pages, I think this is my color swatch. These are great colors for fall. So this would be a nice muted palette. So this with the Inktense might be a better selection than the Albert Dürer. In this page, I have a mix. I have regular Derwent. I have a couple of, what are these? Are these Caran d'Ache Super Colors? Yeah, I think that's one as well. I have just one or two of the Caran d'Ache Aquarelle in here. So I think those are basically the three brands that I have just a couple of colors in. So, I mean, I could bring these, like I'm gonna bring these, if I'm bringing the whole case, I'm bringing these as well. So that's kind of like three color options. These are, I think for the most part, the swatches of what's on this page. So I don't know which one to bring. I would like to bring some of the Inktense, but I don't want to bring all of the Albert Dürer and all of the Inktense because now like the weight is really starting to make a difference. You know, I can't bring every pencil I have in a suitcase. So I was thinking of just one set of water soluble and one set of regular colored pencils. So I don't have an opinion yet. If anyone does, especially if you travel a lot, on what you try to bring with you, like is a more intense color better because then I could just water it down? Or do I go with a pencil set that I'm more comfortable with but may not bring the intensity I was hoping for in like the Draman Vanger book? So I haven't made a decision. I was hoping that I would in this video. I still have not. All right, so let me move on to the next section of things that I will bring. I have three sets of the Ohuhu alcohol markers. I have the portrait set, I have the pastel set, and I have, I think this is part, I don't know if these are brights or midtones. They might have been midtones. Like the swatch sheet says, the 48 color marker set. So I would like to bring some alcohol markers, but I cannot take up this much room in my suitcase. So putting these to the side, I just scanned the color swatches of all three sets, and I think I would just like to go over and decide which ones I'm going to bring, and then just empty one case and combine them. So that's what I'm hoping to do right now. I am doing a handful of portraits in October. So I would like to do a light, a medium, and a darker skin tone. I know I'm out of one of these three really light ones, but I'm not sure which one it is at the moment. So I'm just gonna pick probably this one for the light. I'll just put an L. I think this is the one I'm out of, this Barely Beige. And for my shadow color, I think I'm going to go with this one. And I think this one could also be the lightest shade for my medium, like where the highlights are. But I'm not sure. Certainly those three for the light. For a mid-tone, I like hazelnut and maybe, this says buttercup yellow, but that doesn't look yellow at all. Yeah, I'm gonna go for this one, I think. So these are my two mediums. And I could always just use my pencils to darken it even more. For my darker skin tone, I might do this one for the lightest shade of the dark skin tone. Then I like the potato brown. So I might do either Brune or Mahogany. But you know, natural oak is really nice too, but it's very dark. So yeah, probably one or both of these for my darks. In addition to the skin tone, the pastel set is so valuable because this is always going to be the lightest shade, and then I could go on and darken with my pencil. But at the same time, I'm starting to use this set as I'm becoming more confident in the alcohol markers. I'm becoming a little bit more confident with the like mid-tone darker color. So there are a few colors that I really love here. This dark yellow is one. I like that for basing something like trees. I would like to bring a bright yellow, so I'm probably bringing that one. I'm looking right now for this raw umber. Might be nicer than some of these browns. Yeah, I kind of like that over this reddish one. So I'm going to be taking that as the shadow color of my dark skin tone. But I still have this much darker brown, just in case there's not so much of a transition between the two colors. I don't have a red, so I will bring a red with me, which I guess is going to be the deep red. So I might bring that. I would like a pink. So let me bring the lighter of the two pinks, but mostly it's the greens. So I love the greens in this set. So I'm bringing at least these three, maybe that grass green, and probably the pink. Well, yeah, I'm going to bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 greens. That is quite a bit, maybe 7 greens, but let me see what fits in the package and what I get to when I get to the bottom. But you know, it's going to be tough squeeze because I like so many of these. You know, I put a dark yellow up there, so I think I would like to bring a light yellow. I have that pink, so maybe this hollyhock would be nice. I do have a lot of greens up there. I will bring these blues for skies. I would like to bring a few grays, that natural one. Maybe a red gray. Yeah, I think some of my colors did not come out. So yeah, I don't know why these didn't. I have all these colors. So yeah, something happened with the scanner that it's not picking it up, but I do want a couple of grays. So I do prefer cool grays. So I've got a couple of naturals and a couple of extra. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 9, 7. So I'm bringing like 25 Ohuhu markers. So I'm going to get those together and see what package they fit in. Okay, so this is what I've selected. Of course, I last minute realized I didn't have the blender pen, so I've added that. They all look very light, except for a couple of darks or more vibrant colors, but I think it's a good mix. I do have quite a bit of room in this bag. So I think I'm going to do a swatch sheet of this, you know, kind of like light to dark, to see, especially with the skin tones, if I've got everything right. And again, if I don't, it's not really an issue. I'm just going to use my pencils to either darken, or you can't really lighten these, but you know, I could add white over the top of something. I could add, when I come home, I could always add some kind of gel pen if I'm missing like a white highlight. So right now, this is looking like it's probably 90% there. I may add a couple of more. So let me swatch these and come right back to you. Okay, so these are the final colors for the alcohol markers. I am still bringing this R18, even though I wrote that it's a bit dry. I switched out some of the darks, or at least one of the darks. I thought the YR7 was just a bit too orange, and I tried out a few others. So I'm bringing these additional two, and these are going to replace this one. So that's what I've decided with the skin tone, and I'm pretty happy with the pastels. Again, I mentioned that there's room in my little case. So if there is not a weight issue in my luggage, I probably will add a few more midtones in. But if I have to put some more in, I might like, maybe a mid-tone pink because I have a light and a dark. There is another red, a more orangey red that I liked that I couldn't decide, but I ended up going with the dark red. So there's a few more. But right now, this is what I have for the alcohol markers I'm bringing with me to Italy. So next up is my gel pen collection. This is going to be rough, guys, because I use these a lot for lightening the black lines, coloring over them. I will absolutely bring the black glaze because I do use that quite a bit. So that one's a must. Of the others, I would say my Moonlight are the ones I like the most, but I don't really know how many of these I need because I could just, when I get back from Italy, go over all of my pages and lighten the lines. So I'm not sure I really need all of these gel pens. So this is going to be a tough decision. I do want to take all of the Moonlights. So all of these pens are probably what I'm taking. Of the gold, it has to be the Signo. I do like the Jelly Roll, which I think is like a silver, but it's kind of got a goldish tint to me, but I do use this quite a bit. I don't have it in this set. It's too large to keep in, but these are the Spectrum Noir Sparkle Glitter Pens. I am going to bring the clear. I use that quite a bit. It's not going to take up, it's just one pen. So I'm probably going to have that as a fourth gel pen. My desire is going to be to bring all of the Moonlights minus the fluorescents. I never use them. If I need a fluorescent, I can come home and use it. So I don't really need these two pens. I don't need all of these light colors in the tan, peachy family. This dark purple. So there's probably about 10. So about 10 of these colors I'm pretty much going to bring. The yellow, probably these two. Definitely a pink, the other pink and red. I definitely want my 3 blues. So that's 3, 6, that's 9. And I do want all of the greens. So 13. Yeah, so 13 Jelly Roll gel pens I think are coming with me. Yeah, I'm redeciding it. I know I just said that I'm going to wait to see how heavy my luggage is, but now I'm really thinking, yeah, I want those 13. Okay, next up are my watercolor supplies. There's quite a bit here, but let me move the palettes out for a second, and we'll go through what is probably the easiest to get through. I'm bringing 2 or 3 sizes of water brushes. I'm actually bringing 2 travel size brushes in a size 8 and 10 round, and I'm bringing about 3 different books. This is a watercolor book that I have that I've done some things in the past, but yeah, it's about halfway full, but I still think I'm going to bring this one with me. I really like it. The paper is fantastic. It is easy for me to carry around. For when I get back to the apartment, I'm bringing a full-sized watercolor paper pad that I will try to, from my sketches that I do in the daytime, try to make some watercolor paintings in the evenings. So, you know, this doesn't have a lot of paper either in it. I could always buy stuff when I'm in Italy, but these are the 2 I'm thinking of bringing. Regarding the palettes, I have quite a few. This is the Arteza Iridescent palette. And this is what it looks like on black paper. And these are the colors on white paper. I really like this set. This is really compact. It has all the colors I'm looking into or anything that I would need. The other ones that I have are these golds. I love this set and I do use it quite a bit. The colors are fantastic, but it's limited. You know, there's 6 colors here. I also have some small sets that I really like this blue is really a really useful palette, and I've used a lot of it. I'm almost out of some colors. I really enjoy it. But again, do I bring multiples instead of one palette? So as much as I love these, I think they're going out. And as far as the iridescent colors, I think I'm just bringing my Arteza colors. For regular watercolors, I've got is probably a brand most of you will not know. I think this is a Polish brand. It's Roman Small, S-M-A-Z-L or something like that. I love these colors. You could get them from Jackson's Art in the UK. That's where I get them. I get them shipped. But they're inexpensive colors. I really like these colors. They are fun. They do some beautiful color separations. You can see the Mars black breaks up beautifully. It has some unique colors. I don't know how to pronounce this word. I just call it Pris Gray, but it's a really long name. And they really are a unique set of colors. And there's not a ton of colors here, but I think I have it covered. I have a few greens. You know, I am going to be in Italy, so, you know, this Quin Gold and some of these oranges and pinks and purples are going to be really useful, as are the browns. So I really love this set, and Roman Small so far is going to be the palette. However, I do use Sennelier quite a bit, and this is probably really, yeah, it is really filthy, and it is messy, and I have to fill in some colors. I love my Sennelier watercolors, but they are made with, I think, a honey base or something that I don't think they will move in a luggage, because this is actually going to be checked in luggage. I don't think they would move because they're sticky, but these are nice brights and I really like them. But I think this is better suited for like botanical art because there's a lot of pinks and, purple pinks and, there's blues. I also don't have any greens, so I would have to start mixing my greens, which I do, obviously, from how disgusting this palette is. But I don't know if I really want to do that when I'm in Italy. So I think the decision has been made. Guys, I'm bringing the Roman small set. So that's what I'm bringing for watercolor to Italy. Although not technically a watercolor, I did get a set of Turner acrylic gouache, I think a month or two ago. It is a lovely set, and I would like to start playing with them. I don't have that much experience or almost no experience in gouache. I did do like a couple of backgrounds, and this is a new to me brand, so I might carry this. It's a little heavy. I may wait to see if I'm getting near the weight limit on the luggage and then decide this at the last minute. So I'm going to put this with the watercolor, but I'm not sure I'm actually bringing it. The rest of the art supplies I'm bringing are just bits and bobs. I want to make sure I have a brand new pencil sharpener. I'm bringing a host of pencils, erasers, rulers, so things like that, just to sketch on site. And I have two sketchbooks that I've used in the past. And this is Venice. I just drew that famous tower, and here's a couple of more. So I might do things like this in it, just sketch things out. So this is a nice book. I have more than half left. The paper is creamy. This is from Reflections. So I'm bringing that. I bought these samples in my last haul of some watercolor paper that I've never tried before. One is a sugarcane, one is agave. They don't weigh much, so I'm going to bring them. Then from Art Creation Talons, there's this really cute square sketchbook. So I don't know how useful this is going to be in Venice unless I do like a landscape going across, which would be a problem in the center. But now that I'm looking at it, I don't think I'm bringing this one. It is too small and square. Yeah, it's not going to take up much room, but the weight that I'm giving up in a book that I probably am not going to really use, I could bring at least partially this gouache set. So, all right, this is going back, and I'm just bringing the one sketchbook. Again, they must have lots of sketchbooks in Venice, and I could go to an art store and buy a new one. And then I'm just bringing various clips to hold open, some of my books. And that's about it. I think that's what I'm bringing to Italy. Now, if anyone has any advice at all, because you travel a lot and you know what you need in your supplies, please let me know. Because there are things like I would love to bring some of my pan pastels. But number one, in the luggage, they might all start to crack. And I will do a video at some point, because this one is completely dust, on how to reconstitute them. But I don't want to do that for every color I have. So I don't think I'm bringing any kind of pastel, which is sort of on the dangerous side for my coloring, because I do use them from time to time. But I could always come home and throw in pastel backgrounds in the end if I have to. So guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you have any advice at all for me on how to travel with coloring and art supplies, I'd really love to hear from you. So thanks. Have a great day. Bye, guys.